Okay, so the last thing I wanted to note was I found some more HDRI images online, and this one is a material, you can kind of see it here. It's just a simple image that looks like an interior space. The artist actually created a space in Cinema 4D, lit the space with actual lights, and then exported the map out to, I can show you guys how to do that if you like, but exported the map as an HDRI image, and then we can import that into the scene. So there's several of these presets online. I'll include the link on Blackboard. At any rate, this scene is kind of a nice scene to begin with. And we can see the reflection. There's a nice, well, it's pretty bright. I think I might have the settings up a little bit high here. Let's see. Oh yeah, it's at 150, so I can make this 100. It's probably better. Okay, so here's the scene. You can see that it's like a nice illuminated studio kind of space. Let's say I wanted to change the tint of the color of this a little bit. Again, using the materials, you can easily do that. If we go to the luminous channel where this object is, down below there's also something called mix strength. And with any of your images, you can do this. Any image that you add as a material, you can add the mix strength. So I have the color blue in the background, and I'm just going to mix this down a little bit more. And notice what you can see the preview of it up above. It's mixing a little bit of blue into my scene. 80% of my scene is the image, and 20% is the blue image. And then when I render this out, you'll notice how it affected the object. It's making the overall scene a little bit more blue, a little more tinted in that sort of way. So those are some elements that you can include into your scene as well. Additionally, if you want to add a little bit more shadow, a little bit more grit and texture into the shadow surfaces, again, where there's no lighting in the scene, we can do that with another export setting in the render settings called ambient occlusion. And this, again, if you click on effects, you'll be able to find it. If we click on this, this is going to allow us to, I'm going to make the accuracy a little bit more than, just make this 50%. It's going to give a little bit more grit, a little bit more texture to the scene, and add a little bit more shadow quality, which will just give a nice sort of presence to the surfaces. So immediately you can see that where the objects are meeting, there's a little bit more shadow reflection in the cracks of that actual pentagon object. There's a little bit more shadow and depth, and then on the surface of the bottom of the sphere, there's also a little bit more shadow that sort of enters into it. So between global illumination, HDRI images, and ambient occlusion, you can get some really realistic lighting effects without actually having to place lights or use lights in your scene or setting. All right, any questions about any of that stuff?